This is my week 5 video journal. Start with Monday, 13th April. There was like an update on all the Macs in the Mac suite. So all the documents that I had on there disappeared. So the sample packs that I had are gone now. So I had to get a new one. I got a new Amen Break sample pack, which is worse than the one I had, but oh well. I wanted to sample Killing Is My Business by Megadeth in the song because Alec Empire, Atari Teenage Riot used like samples from metal songs in their music and fused it with techno, as I talked about in my research. I cut the first guitar riff and I looped it with the ambience note from right at the start, the intro, in the back, and I increased the tempo to make it more, exciting and lively. I added an 808 drum and another sample from the song of Dave Mustaine going, "You better believe it." I added that, and cowbell, and a bass line, but the bass line made it muddy. I removed the cut and screw part. I don't even know what I'm talking about in this one. I don't really remember this song. I think it's my weakest one so far. Sorry. Cut and screwed part. Oh, with the riff, I let it loop, and then after, I didn't want it to just be a loop because that's kind of boring. So I like cut it up and rearranged it for a little bit, but it just sounded really, it just didn't sound good. So I just removed it and I just replaced it with the riff loop again. I added an Amen break to the start, but it didn't sound good, so I guess I just removed it. I changed it to a loop, an Amen break loop, with a small change at the end of the loop. I wrote, when it goes into the riff loop part, it goes off time and splits. Don't know what that means. I should have been more clear in my writing, because I need to talk more about this, but I don't have much to say from just this. But overall this day was not that productive, and I used some inspiration from like Alec Empire and my research with Atari Teenage Riot's album, but I didn't really do much with it other than just get inspired by I guess I was kind of inspired by the song, I think it's like Rave Bashing, I think, where it has like this metal guitar riff and then it changes to like a really like techno song, and it uses both elements, and I think it just works really well together. Okay, Tuesday. The song sounded better than I remembered. I added an open hi-hat on the offbeat, but I couldn't place the notes on the offbeat. But to solve this, I just had to zoom into the grid and put more notes. The offbeat, I don't know when that was, maybe, I think there was like a 808, like, just really basic thing. I think I put the hi-hats there to add some like variation if it repeats in the song, probably does. I adjusted effects on the Amen break at the start using I Love Weed as a reference. I've been doing this, seeing the clip distortion, bit crush like levels, and doing it so that it fits together better in my EP. The songs aren't too like different from each other, and it just makes it more, I can't focus. I extended the first section, so the riff section, to make the song flow better, and I made the chop bit gradually chop out. I don't know, chopped bit. I think there was a part where, like in Zebras in America, where like I would chop the end of the sample and then just like repeat it so it has kind of like a effect, like a glitch effect. Ryan gave me feedback and added crossfade to the gaps in the amen break loop so it sounds more in time, because I guess I didn't really place it on grid. I made the amen break come back above 51, cutting off the previous part so it's on grid again. What previous part? Oh, there was like a section going on, I don't know what it was, but everything was kind of offbeat because of the sample, like the talking sample. It says, you better believe it before like a drop, and everything like goes sounds better believe it, but it's not like exactly a bar. It's either a little bit less or a little bit more, so everything was like off grid. So at the end of whatever section, I just cut it on the line and added the amen break again so that it's back on grid and it's just easier to make. I added that vocal line from the song. It says, killing is my business and business is good. I chopped it to say killing is good, and I put it at the end and earlier in the song as well. And that's what I'm going to call this song. The sample at the start changed. So the guitar riff, oh yeah, I remember now. The guitar riff looped and then it splits off and repeats like a glitch. But it like changed positions. So instead of being like day, it was like oi. I don't know why. I tried getting Mark to help, but oh wait, yeah, I'll talk about this. I also added, yeah, Mark tried fixing the sample problem by pasting it from an older save. This took ages. But when I set the time signature to match the project, it just fucks it up again, so it just didn't work. And I just decided to keep the changed version because it didn't sound that bad. It wasn't that different from the original. And I don't know how I would fix it. But it wasn't as big of a problem for me to just like spend ages trying to fix it. I opened the Zebras in America file and what showed was a song I just made but without the samples, reverted to a previous save. That really scared me, but I think I just had to close and open it again or something. Or like just go back to another save, yeah. Then I added limiter and AI mastering to the song. Ryan said to signify the ending with harsh dissonant guitar strumming and snare hits to make it more like dramatic, and because he said it builds up but it kind of just goes to nothing, so I need to emphasize the build up with something, and I haven't added that yet, but I should. I wanted to update Wix but it didn't load, so I started making a new song. I made a drum machine like simple melody loop with a kind of weird time signature because the loop wasn't a bar, it was like slightly longer. I don't know what time signature it was exactly, but there you go. It kind of reminded me of Lolita Storm because they have like the sequencer beats. So this would, if I make this song more like inspired by Lolita Storm, it would make the I Love Speed cover not seem out of place compared to the rest of it. But the beat is kind of similar to the first beat in I Love Speed, so when I release it I need to make sure those songs are next to each other in the list. Okay, and then Thursday I downloaded another Freddie Got Fingered sample from my phone and I added Bit Crusher to it and it's sample of Gord's dad clapping back to Gord. But it's just taken out of context, obviously. It says, "Do you want to fuck me?" So yeah, that signifies that this can be more sexual song, which matches with the Lolita Storm influence because their songs are all very like cheeky and I don't know, like they have sexual themes in them. I sped up the drum beat I made and I added effects to it. I wanted it to be structurally similar to Lolita Storm songs but with a more techno sound. So instead of having that same like timbre and effects that, well, I'm still using clip distortion and bit crusher, but instead of, I don't know, like for example the sequencer beat, I used the drum sound, it was called like analog haze and it was quite, I think, atmospheric. So it didn't really match Lolita Storm, they wouldn't have something like that, but I really like the sound, so it's good because I'm kind of making it my own. I'm taking inspiration while not just completely copying. I was stuck on what to add. I tried adding a keyboard note after the beat, but it was bad. Unproductive. I listened to their song You Make Me High When You Go Down Low for inspiration. So I added that keyboard note again with Bit Crusher using broken bells, split the end and repeated it. So exactly what I have been doing for like 3 other songs. I added electronic kick and distorted guitar playing the same note. The keyboard thing split up the setting it was on, the instrument, or an effect that I used, made it like, no, when it was chopped, because it's broken bells, because it's broken, it like kind of, it's not always the same note, it kind of varies, like a out of tune piano or something. So when you split it and repeat it, it has a really cool effect where it like goes between notes and it sounds really cool, especially with the kick, but it doesn't really match Lolita Storm or digital hardcore. It's more like, I don't know, but I screen recorded it to keep. So the distorted guitar playing the same note, got the idea from the I Love Weed cover, I Love Speed cover, but it just kind of drowned out the keyboard note, to be honest. So that's the week. Overall, I think it could have been more productive since we only have like 4 weeks left and I haven't finished my songs, haven't done research, and I need to start promoting soon. So I think, sorry, I finished a song, started a new one, but I think could have picked up the pace a little bit. But I think I'm showing my my growing producing skills and production skills. Sorry. I need to work on my preparation, planning, time management, efficiency, and research skills. Mark told me that I had to like synthesize my findings or something, talk about like how this is gonna help me in the future, but I honestly don't know. I think I've been exposed to new techniques because I've just found them through experimentation on Logic. So I think it's really, doing these like songs is really helping me learn this new skill of Logic, which will help me in the future with making more songs that are more like developed and complex. Because these ones are pretty simple, but I think it's a good building block that I can use to further develop my skills in the future. So yeah, that was my week. Thanks for watching.